At the moment, the wrestlers, just to correct you, the wrestlers are no longer at the protest site because their site was removed by the Delhi police. The protesters are demanding the arrest of BJP leader and the chief Brijbhushan Singh. They have alleged that he molested a lot of women, including minors, during his tenure. And a lot of women, the complaint has also been registered by at least 10 women, including the minor, against Bhushan. So they are demanding his arrest and his removal from all the positions that he's holding at the moment.
Yeah. A number of them were detained over the weekend. What happened in that sort of skirmish?
Well, on Sunday the situation was pretty tensed. We also went to cover there. We were not allowed to enter. The media was not allowed to enter the premises. At 11:30 a.m., the call was given that a march will be going to the parliament. Now it was interesting because the same day, Prime Minister Narendra Modi also inaugurated the new parliament. It was just a few kilometers away from where the protesters were sitting. And as soon as the march started, it got pretty intense with Delhi police detaining the protesters brutally. They have alleged that the women wrestlers' clothes were torn and they were also beaten up. We saw how brutally the wrestlers were, pushed into the bus along with other supporters. There were also minors who were detained that day. They were taken to different police stations and in the evening were then released in the evening. The Sunday's protests were peaceful. They were not supposed to be intense. The wrestlers had made sure that the protests go peacefully, but the media was not allowed to cover it. The Delhi police used violent measures. They beat up protesters. They beat up the wrestlers. They used force to detain them, took them to different locations. For a while, we had no idea where they were taken. So then reports came, okay, they have been taken to different police stations and they were released in the evening.
Yeah. Really a strange way to treat people who are just trying to get a hearing on this issue. They had threatened to throw their medals into the Ganges River, but now they've said they'll give authorities a few more days to respond. What are the chances of them getting some form of formal response and an inquiry into this beginning?
To actually talk about this, in January, the wrestlers had come in January this year to talk about the same issue, and they had been given the assurance that a complaint will be filed. But over the course of a few months, nothing happened. So they had to come back again in April just to get their complaint registered. So the fact that the Supreme Court then had to intervene and ask the Delhi police to register a complaint and then go through ahead with the investigation shows that the lax behavior of the Delhi police. So to expect something from them will be, I think, a little too much, because even now they have given statements that they don't have enough evidence against Brijbhushan. So in 15 days, they are saying that they will give all the reports. But seeing the the pattern and behavior of how Delhi police has been handling the matter, I think it is expecting too much from them that they will do something against Bhushan, or they will give justice to the wrestlers who are sitting for more than 1.5 months.
Yes. They've spoken, the wrestlers, of going on a hunger strike. Is there another way of perhaps getting a hearing, perhaps going to the wrestling body? As you say, it doesn't seem as if the New Delhi police are going to be handling this, considering the way they've behaved so far.
The wrestling federations are they do not have that much authority, except the authority where the accused himself is the chief. The sports minister today gave the statement and have asked the wrestlers to just let the police do the investigations and wait for them. But again, the protesters at the moment, they have given the statements that they cannot trust the government, because since January this has been going on. Since January they have been protesting and coming and talking about this, but nothing has happened. The police registration, the complaint registration took so much time and efforts, and so much, they had to sit in with the protests. So I think right now, although international bodies have given their support, which I think is important, and creating a lot of pressure for the government, the inside, like in the country, they actually have very little space to go somewhere. Although there are like civil societies and there are different bodies that are coming in support, but the power they hold is not as imperative as the government itself or the major national federations, which are here and there. There's been a divide. Some are supporting the wrestlers and some are not, and have actually given out statements against them.
Nikita, you know, a lot of times in India, women feel that they are not heard. There's sometimes brutal attacks against women that are not properly investigated. Do you feel that this is again an example of women not getting a fair hearing?
Well, it depends, but yeah, I mean, the fact that these are national champions, these are, Olympic and Commonwealth gold winning athletes, and they are not getting a space, shows that the government needs to step up their game. There are brilliant laws, there are good laws in the country, but the impact of it, like, how they're implemented, needs to be measured. We have a law called POXCO Act, which is prevention of child sexual abuse, and according to that law, as soon as a complaint is filed, the accused is supposed to be arrested, and then the investigation will go on. But here at the moment, nothing has happened.
Yeah.
So, even though the law is there, even though the law is strong, the impact of it, we cannot see it. And it's just, if women like these wrestlers who have that space, who have that identity, that strong identity, and who stood with the prime minister just a few time back, and they were complimented by him, but now they are on the streets, they are being dragged by the police, shows that we have to see this as a major, as a important thing. We need to see sexual harassment against women in all forms and need to do something about it. We need to come up with better ways so that justice is provided to them.
Yeah. A very problematic issue to watch, Nikita. We'll see how it develops. Thank you so much.
Thank you.